frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
It's Football Daft. It's the daftest Scottish football podcast around. I am producer John, and let's introduce the team because we've had a couple of men sent off. First of all, let's welcome one of the ugly sisters, and I'm not talking about Celtic or Rangers for any non-old firm fans. It is Bobina.
How are we?
How are we? I'm okay, mate. I'm okay. And there's no one else.
Well, like Hibs and went me, like McGinn and who else? Hanlon getting sent off, man. The end of Jack Ross's tenure. There's no Grado, there's no Toll. Right. Then we had Ewan drafted in, and fuck knows where he is.
So here's the crack, right? So Grado was meant to be on, and then he got called away to switch on lights around Scotland with the radio show. I don't know what's going on there, but he went, "Oh mate, I've got to switch on lights." Do you know what's happening with
in Grado's defence? Obviously, I've been spending a lot of time with him. I know what's going on here with these Christmas light switch-ons. If we'll use the term loosely, it's not as if it's George Square.
Is he good? Now, am I getting this right, that he's just going into people's offices and...
He's getting sent out to, like, workies' yards, fucking doctors' offices,
right?
Vets, fire stations. And he told me a funny story the other day where him and his partner in crime, is it Crofty in it? They two turned up to it was like a builder's yard in the East End near Parkhead in Glasgow. And they turned up. He's going to hate me for telling this, but he turned up and nobody knew who they were or what they were there for. and then Crofty started getting pictures, wanted to start going, right, who's for photos? And everybody's like, who the fuck are you?
Grado would have had his phone out though, wouldn't he? Have saying, "Oh look, this is me on 2 doors down IMDb. Look, I've got a page on IMDb here." That's what have you listened to Football Daft? Have you? You're a fan of the wrestler? You're a fan of 2 doors down?
I'll tell you something. He's shattered. He is shattered because he's doing that. He's doing the radio show. He's jumping about, switching lights on everywhere. Then he's come to do the panel. So fair play to him. But he is. He's on call now. He's like a guy who's on call that keeps getting called out. Do you know what I mean?
That's what it is. That was. Chris Toll can't be here because he's moving house, so he's got a excuse. So he can't be here.
I dined out in that excuse for about 3 months, didn't I? So
you did all right with that. And then we drafted in Ewan Cameron, who was obviously on the show last week. Now he's just hit us 5 minutes before we started recording with, "There's a power cut in my street, and I don't know what's going on." So he's done this thing that, I don't know if any of your mates do this, but Grado certainly does, where they're late for something or they're maybe, they pull an excuse. So what they do is they double down on their excuse, right? So Ewan messaged us and says, "There's a power cut in Madison. I don't know what's going on. My Wi-Fi's down." And then there's alarms going off in the street. And then he's basically doubled down by then going on to the Madison Facebook page, then grabbing lots of people saying, "Anyone else have a power cut in Madison?" And then he sent me about 3 screenshots of anyone else up at Madison got a power cut. Mine's is still off. Yep, ours is still off. Yes, in Rumford as well. Still off in California Road. Now, my question here is, are these screenshots that he's got in reserve for such a situation? He can't be arsed doing something.
Grado does that. I think Grado, when you go into Grado's camera roll, I think now you can put your photos into wee sections.
Yes.
I think he's got an excuse section where he's got so many images of traffic jams on the M8 and all that. Yeah. And he sends you that.
Absolutely.
I used it once as well. Remember I done it? Remember I sent a photo. Was it a bed getting built in Malthus or something?
That's right. That is right.
I doubled down. I doubled down.
You doubled down. Now, I'm sure you've got mates that do this as well if you're listening just now. My favourite one from Grado was like, "Oh, He was an hour and a half late. I think it was one of the earlier episodes where we were interviewing Simon Donnelly, I think it was, and he was an hour and a half late. And like, he sent a screenshot of like, I'm stuck behind a broken down tractor in Stevenson. And I sent a screenshot of a broken
Mate,
tractor.
I swear in my fucking everything sacred I believe in, I've been sent that screenshot for him.
Yes. Yeah.
He's used that a few times. I think he uses that many, forgets what ones he sent to who. Because he's used that before, I'm telling you.
There you go. So if you are looking for any excuses, there's a great bit of tip for you. Yeah, just get some screen grabs of the Madison power cut, and then you can say, I can't get involved, the power's down, and then just get some screen grabs, send them to your mates, you're out of the fucking jail. Right, so some comeback from last week. Stephen, you obviously weren't here, it was me and Toe. We've had a big discussion, obviously, the last couple of weeks about the CFAX and teletext numbers.
Yes.
Now, it was disputed. We landed on the fact that 140 was the football on teletext, right?
I see. Right. I would have said no to that.
Right. Theo 2 has been certainly
CFAX
by Craig and Ross as the football pages, right?
On CFAX.
Yes, CFAX.
Aye, that's CFAX.
That was up for dispute. So that's not.
I always thought like Channel 3 was like 4 something.
Right. That goes back into debate then. Also, we've had a tale of another sad hamster death. Stephen, off the back of the hamster deaths we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, we've had a few people coming in with hamsters.
We shouldn't laugh.
Another sad hamster death. God rest Bell Toll, hamster. Hamster that passed away, sadly. But this one comes from Brian. He said his hamster was accidentally hooved up by his maw while it was running about outside the cage.
Oh, that's bad.
I don't know.
Would that kill the hamster though?
Aye,
because it's not the sucky thing, it's the actual hoover. So they've been fucking.
Going up the sucker, it would go boop.
Do you know hang up the sucky thing, but it would be.
You think it'd be alright if it went up if it was like a Henry Hoover? You think it?
Aye, I know, but no, it would kill you, wouldn't it? Aye.
Those fucking Dysons and those sharks.
I think the shock alone.
Yeah,
the shock alone. Speaking of shock, right?
Right.
I've just moved in, obviously, a few months ago into this house, right? We're getting tiling done in the kitchen, now for like a splashback and all that jazz, right? So the guys put the tiles on the wall, but the sockets can't go back on because the screws are too wee now because I've got a tile there. So I ordered longer screws to put in the sockets. So I'm going around doing it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right?
But you fitted these yourself?
What?
Fitted these yourself?
I fitted the sockets back on, aye, right? So 9, right? So I've went round 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Came to the penultimate one.
Right.
I haven't switched it off.
All right.
I put my finger in. Have you ever seen What Women Want with Mel Gibson? Hey, I swear to God, I thought I was going to die. I was like, I fucking get the shock of my life, man. Honestly, I couldn't move. Wow. Honestly, so that shock nearly killed me. Do you know what I mean? So a wee hamster getting hoovered up would kill, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I'm lucky to be here.
Listen, I would have let you off for that excuse. You wouldn't have had to send me a picture of you in hospital with your fucking head higher standing up one end, you know what I mean?
I went and looked at myself in the mirror after it to see if I was all right. I shat myself, honestly. So
update from you and Cameron, who's just messaged me with another screen grab.
Fuck.
This is coming from Power Notice, the SPEnergynetworks.co.uk. Right. So he's got a list of all the postcodes across Falkirk that are without energy. So he's basically saying it's the entire town of Falkirk. I should be able to clarify this.
No, you're in Falkirk, you know?
I'm in Larbert, see, I'm in the north side of Falkirk. So
I was at a spa in Falkirk the other day.
Oh, were you?
Inch something. What was the name of it? Inch.
What? You were at a spa. Oh, in Shira, the Shira.
Aye, in Shira, that one. Aye.
There you go. Cool story. Right, let's move on then and get into the football.
Yes.
What's been happening? Well, we've come to air on Thursday, the 9th of December. And just this morning, Jack Ross has been pumped from Hibs a week before he was due to lead them out in the Scottish League Cup final. They're 7th in the league at the moment, 11 points off third. I think it's 4 points 9 I think I heard that right. And they obviously got beat last night in the league as well. So John Potter's also left, and David Gray, the cup-winning captain, has taken temporary charge of the team against Celtic and probably will be there. I don't know. I'd imagine they'll try and move fast on it to get someone in before the League Cup final, but bit of a shock, eh?
Well, right, here's my thing on it. I've been thinking this about Hibs for the past wee while now. They're turning into Aberdeen.
Right.
They only play against us. They only turn up against us. See, the way I've seen them playing against us in the past couple of years, see if they played like that against fucking Livingston last night, against Celtic, against whatever, they're turning into like the fucking modern day Aberdeen, the way the old fucking mantra would be Aberdeen only play 4 times a season. That's the way Hibs are. They're fucking... I'm raging. Did they beat us in that cup semi-final? Because they are fucking honking. They're terrible.
I think for the outside looking in, a lot of people are shocked, but my father-in-law is a Hibs supporter. He said since the start of the season, we have not played well. You know how they had a great start to the season, Hibs, and they were up there.
Right.
He says, I have no idea how we're up. They were playing shite, and he was not impressed at all with what was happening. He said, fuck me. So, it seems that it's all kind of, the cards have come tumbling down a wee bit. A lot of people pointing the finger at Ryan Porteous saying the sending off against Rangers is what turned it. So
how can that? I think the troubles were there before that. Fuck's sake, the league run was really poor. They weren't getting results week in, week out, and you're going, right, I don't think Porteous getting sent off. Who get sent off last night? Was it McGinn and fucking Hanlon?
Yeah.
So obviously you go at that, right? McGinn and Hanlon last night. You start looking, going, do the players, are they losing their discipline? Do they want to play for the manager? I don't know. I think Jack Ross comes across as quite a nice guy. I think he comes across as quite a decent manager. He did a good job. I think he was dealt a cruel hand at Sunderland as well. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just think they're just not very good.
The players they've got there as well. So, yeah, I would say, listen, I wonder if Jack Ross would be up for the Falkirk job, do you think? Home boy, he's his hometown, Falkirk boy.
Mate, did he get the sack for Sunderland?
Yes, he did.
Right, so he's had the sack for Sunderland, he's had the sack for Hibs. Where else has he been?
Then obviously he made his name at St Mirren.
St Mirren. Did he not get manager of the year when he was at St Mirren?
So he made his name at Alloa, went to St Mirren, Sunderland, then Hibs. Go on Falkirk board, see if you can get Jack Ross in the door. That would be tremendous. I don't think it will happen though. Let's talk about the Rangers situation, Stephen. The hokey-cokey of European fixtures. You're in, you're out, you're shaking it all about.
Mental.
So, Leon, the situation, we talked about this in Rangers Daft. Go and listen to that if you haven't already, if you're a Rangers supporter. But yeah, for everyone else, they were allowed to go to Leon. Then on Monday they weren't. Then on Tuesday they were. And now everything's up in the air. You say you've got a few mates that have just been left in the lurch.
Aye, a couple of guys I know that are gone, that can't go now, because obviously work reasons, they get told they can't go now, they're told they can go. So, mate, I think obviously, like, the authorities in France must have known this. What is it, a festival? Must have known this was happening, right? This has obviously been known, so I don't understand. I'm just, the only saving grace here is, it's a shame for people that can't go now, that we're gone, but the only saving grace I've got here is nothing's really riding on this game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it wouldn't be the best preparations for it, do you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's a shambles, but it's a bit of shambles. You go, it's terrible, like so many people that have went and paid for flights and tickets and then went, no, you can't go, then they can't, they've went, right, I need to work now, like my mate going, right, I'm working, now they're getting told they can go, and my mate's gone, I can't get away from work now. Do you know what I mean? So it's an absolute shambles.
I know, but like you say, it's a rubber game, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
Dundee United, let's talk about the Callum Butcher situation there at the weekend. He's been charged by the FA following the challenge on David Turnbull on Sunday. He got booked on the day, but on review, he's now been given basically the fast track to notice the complaint after a panel of referees heard it, and he's just come back off a 2-match suspension, and he's back into looks like, I think it's not been settled yet, but
Hatchet man, isn't he?
They're looking. Well, I asked my mate who's a Dundee United supporter, Callum. I said, "Has he just been unlucky here, or is he a hatchman?" I said, "He's a poor man's Alan Power," is what he said.
That's one of the biggest insults you could get.
Yeah, but it was a shocker, wasn't it?
It was bad. I think obviously there's no complaints there. You've got to go right. The thing is, the referees also got it wrong at the time. Do you know what I mean? So you're going, it should have been a red card probably. I just wonder if there would be any, I don't know, a wee panel just maybe looking at Kyogo's antics and all would be nice. Do you know what I mean? Just to see, obviously, the blatant cheating that's going on there as well, try to get men sent off and all that. Just put it out there, John. Just put it out there. Do you know what I mean? Do
you think there should be more of this? Like, it doesn't seem to happen as much as it should, does it?
No, and I'm what I'm saying there about Kyogo's kind of tongue in cheek, but really, it isn't, because you go, right, if they're doing that for challenges that the ref's missing, right, the ref's missed that, right, say we've not got VAR up here, say the referee misses that with Kyogo, right, Kyogo going down, carrying on with Suter, or say Suter gets punishment for that. I think the more this Kyogo keeps doing this,
Kyogo keeps doing this.
He does, but mate, he keeps.
But at Rangers, you've had players like that as well.
Well, I know we have, but I'm just going, that cheating. See, if that was a Rangers player, I'd be saying the same now. It needs to stop, because he's going to end up. It's going to cause fucking damage somewhere, because he's blatantly trying to cheat. He's trying to get players sent off. Fucking Souters went there and touched him a tiny wee bit, and he's went down as if he's been fucking shot. Do you know what I mean? And he done it a few weeks ago as well. I just want him out of this game at New Year.
Now it comes out. Do you think someone like Cal McGregor or one of the Scottish boys will kind of take him aside maybe after seeing these things and go, listen, mate,
you would like to think so, aye. It's embarrassing, man, because Cal McGregor strikes me as a kind of old school professional, kind of doesn't really get involved in any nonsense. Very, very good player. Surely he's a seasoned pro at Celtic. He's been there for years. He's got to be going like that, like you're saying. Like, what are you doing, me, man? Come on. What are you doing? Because there's no denying the wee guy's quality. He's a quality player.
Yeah.
But that tarnishes it a wee bit. Do you know what I mean? Even producer Ryan in the group chat tried to defend it. Come on, Ryan. I know you'll be editing this, but come on, mate. Jesus Christ.
You will not hear this probably on the podcast if Ryan's editing it, but there you are. So basically, you're just trying to get him out of the Old Firm game in New Year. That's what.
Aye. I think Jota's struggling as well, isn't he? He's out injured.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to miss it.
So that's like, according to Crystal, the two best players in Scotland at the moment. So, you know what I mean?
Well, they're up. They're certainly up there. Right, so I would say best players in Scotland this season, probably top four. I would go Jota, Kyogo, Aribo, and Tony Watt. So far,
I would go Aribo.
Yeah, right, here we go.
I would go Aribo, Alan McGregor. No, Jota looks an absolute find, and I really hope Celtic don't get him on a permanent, because he looks a very, very good player, and him being injured is only good for us, isn't it? Because we've got, obviously, after Tynecastle, we've then got 3 home games in a trot. Celtic have got a couple of away games and the cup final. So if Jota's missing, it can only be good for us.
Yep. Let's talk. I guess we've got to talk about my team now.
What happened to you at the weekend? What's going on?
It's pumped 6-0 at the weekend off Queen's Park. Off the back of that, Paul Sheeran has left Falkirk now, and the new search has started for another manager. That'll be 4 managers in 5 if you include Matt Miller and Cracks. So, yeah, it's not
friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Danny Granger's taking interim charge as we search for a new manager. We shall see who turns up. I quite fancied Brian Rice, I'll be honest with you.
I thought you wanted Jack Ross.
Well, I want Jack Ross, but that's not going to happen.
Mate, his stock is falling, man. Keeps getting sacked, you never know.
He's not going to go to League One, though, is he?
You never know.
Yes, well, but yeah.
Would you take Brian Rice, aye?
I would take Brian Rice. I think he
would do a job. He would come in instead of the ship and do a job.
Yeah.
Mate, honestly, are you going to end up in League 2?
No, we won't end up in League 2.
The evidence would suggest otherwise, mate.
Well, yes, it would. I'm in hospitality this Saturday.
Does that mean you're just going to get pissed and not watch a game?
Well, it's against Cove Rangers. I'm going to seek out Paul Hartley because he's to blame for all this fucking shit.
So, you heard it here first. Producer John is going to end up doing a weekender this weekend because he's going to get pushed and he's going to start a fight with Paul Hartley.
There we go. It might happen. It might happen. So if I'm not here next week, you know why. Right, let's move on to the Daft then. Right, okay. Stephen, would you like to hear the world's funniest joke? Would you like to hear about a dog whose owner was convinced he was dead? Or would you like to hear about the world's worst boss?
Nicholas, want to hear about the world's funniest joke? A dog whose owner was convinced he was dead, or what?
The world's worst boss.
The world's worst boss. What do you want out of the three? What do you think's best?
The dog one.
The dog one. Go for
the dog one. Nicholas, Stephen's wife, has spoken. We're going to talk about the dog one. So this is a Glasgow dog, Stephen.
Right.
This owner, right? He comes down. He finds the dog. It's not well, Stephen. It's not well. So much so, he basically has a vigil for poor old Spud. So basically, the guy Charlie Oliver was fretting all day. 7-month-old Spud, he thought he'd eaten something poisonous. He was vomiting and he was left listless. The owner thought, oh, he's gone. You know, very, very sad day for him. Then he discovered that Spud had eaten 35 dental chews. He had found the big shop from Asda, got in amongst it, chewed open one of the boxes and ate 35 dental chews, leaving him in a food coma.
So Spud was doing his best impersonation of Ewan Bremner's version of Spud in Trainspotting.
Yes, he was.
He's been.
He's done. 35 dental sticks, poor Spud. Now,
That's dodgy though, isn't it?
I've got a great picture which we'll put on the video version if you're on that patreon.com/football daft of poor Spud looking guilty with the empty packet of dental sticks.
Is this the one you put in the plan? I've got it, I think.
The one in the
I see it. Nicola.
There he is.
That's a
Poor Spud.
His eyes still look a bit dodgy there though.
It does. So this leads me to the question, and I was hoping Grado would have been on the podcast. What is the most you have ever eaten in one setting? Like, what is one?
This is made for Grado, isn't it?
This Grado could win this because Grado's diet is incredible.
Grado told me the other day, right? Right. Obviously, you're the same, John. Breakfast, you're on the breakfast show in Clyde and all that. So he said, what was it he said, right? He'd got up. I think he said he'd had, was it a Burger King?
Right.
Then when he finished, he got a McDonald's. And then later on, he got a lasagna.
Right.
Right, I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines.
And this was before 12 o'clock.
This was before like fucking 2 in the afternoon or something, right? So I think he would definitely win this. Myself, I feel guilty. Me and Nick, I feel guilty if we have like a McDonald's and then like a Chinese. That's like eating a lot for us. Do you know what I mean? Like going right. We're not really binge eaters, aren't we? See, Nico's kind of like the third guest this week. She's like the third presenter this week.
Listen, we should just get Nick.
Get her on.
Get her on. We're down.
I know. There's no Ewan Cameron, there's no Chris Toll, there's no Grado. There's a power cut. There's a power cut in Falkirk, according to Grado.
I want to ask Nicola who she fancies for the Hibs management job.
Who do you think should get the Hibs management? Who do you? Well, you'll forget. There's Derek McGuinness, there's Alec Neil, there's... I don't know, who else would you say?
Kevin Thompson?
I think that's a good shout. That was Toll said that, wasn't it? Yeah. I think that's a good shout, by the way. No, but mate, eating-wise, we need Grado for this. We need
Grado. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back to this next week. And if you let us know, actually, on Twitter, Football Daft Pod, what is the most you've ever eaten? Because I think Grado will be able to beat everyone hands down.
Aye, definitely.
Please tweet us. If you're listening to this out, please tweet us. What is the most you've ever eaten one day? Because everyone has that day where they've just eaten everything. And I'm pretty confident that Grado's just going to say, no, I beat that. And we'll find out next week who
definitely.
Can you beat Grado for the world title of eating? This is the question we're asking on Football Daft this week. Anyway, so that's a Daft story for this week. Later, we'll be playing for pies in the player profile playoff. On the big question, Stephen, this debate kicked off with Mr. Cameron last week. The best number 9. Who is it?
I love this question. I love it. I think we could talk about this. I think we could talk about this that much that I'd miss my show tonight.
Right, okay, we'll get into that a bit later on. We'll reveal the last week's swankiest moments with Eldorado 29. We'll get a new one for you to vote on. Grado is not here, but I have 3 riddles, and Stephen, it's just you so this could take some time. You can gain some
I'm the worst at this as well.
Get Nicola to help you with this, all right?
You need to get involved in this as well, right? Jesus.
And on teammates, take a bow, son. It's
Andy Gray.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
Right, it's that time to give a big shout out to our loyal sponsor, G4. Now remember, if you've been in a road traffic accident and you're not at fault, G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They can provide you with the complete accident management support you require. They'll recover their costs from the at-fault party, sort you out with a like-for-like vehicle replacement. They'll also organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and returned to you. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, they will recover the pre-accident value for your car and write you a big fat cheque for it. And best of all, it won't cost you a penny. They charge the at-fault insurance direct. G4 Claims don't cold call, they don't buy data, and once they have processed your claim, your insurance will remain unscathed. And the best thing is, Nicole and the team over there won't take on your case if they don't think they can help. So, if you've been in a road traffic accident or know someone that has, get on to G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them at notatfaultclaim.com or find them on social media at G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims, not at fault claims.
Made easy. It's the Football Daft Open Line, the open line where anything goes. Does Hearts still have a chance of winning the title, Stephen?
No.
Ahead of the weekend game, right? Okay. After what else has happened? I mean, should Leon Fiasco should be talking about that?
Shambles.
Absolutely shambles. And who should replace Jack Ross at Hibs?
Neil Lennon.
Oh, there's an early shout. Do you think that could happen?
I think it would be fucking hilarious if it did, but no, I don't think it will.
It'd be like that Alex Salmon picture you see where he's sauntering back into Parliament. There's fucking Lenny sauntering back into Easter Road. Open line. We've invited someone on this week because I'm really interested in this story. It went viral at the weekend, Stephen. I don't know if you saw this, but it's a man called Kieran. Kieran, tell Stephen Purden why you went viral at the weekend.
Basically, we done something a little bit different. The idea was that me and my group of mates, we're all from Dundee, and we decided to go to Perth train station purely because it's very central. And basically, our night out was decided where the first goal in Scotland was scored. It was turned out it was Queen's Park, and so we went to the south side of Glasgow. We rocked up in Perth with nothing more than a bag of clothes and some beers, and had to then book trains, hotels, and all that en route. So yeah.
See, that's class. See, that kind of stuff, right? Obviously, at Christmas time and all that, I'm really busy doing punter. I don't get time for anything. See that, mate? I'm so jealous of that. That sounds absolutely brilliant. So, when the goal, where were you when the goal got scored?
We're in a pub called the Sandyman in Perth, and we kind of went there. We went there quite sharp, to be fair. We arrived there maybe 11:15. Had something to eat, had a couple of beers and that. Watched the Chelsea West Ham game, and then kind of waited on the 3 o'clocks coming in. And if you've never done it before, the kind of 5-minute wait till the first goal was the most nerve-wracking thing in the world, because you could end up in Stranraer, could end up in Dingwall.
Or you could have just stayed in Perth.
Yeah, well, luckily enough, the Ross County and St Johnstone game got called off.
That's right, yeah.
So Perth was kind of ruled out. Dundee were playing Rangers, so we kind of thought, well, we're not heading back to Dundee. And then Celtic were playing United on the Sunday. So we were kind of hopeful that we weren't heading back to Dundee, or then luckily, obviously, the St Johnstone game got called off, so we weren't kind of staying in Perth. So we knew we were going somewhere.
So where did you stay in the south side?
I can't remember what it was called. My mate booked it, and by that point, by the time he'd booked it on, we were well on our way. So I think it was part of, was it Smith's Hotels or something like that, that group?
Right.
But the almost had like a main office almost, and then we kind of got put to like one of their sub kind of places, which was kind of almost in like a wee kind of tenement block, and we kind of ended up there, and then had a couple of beers in there, and then headed out to Firhill because I think that's where the game was played, and then obviously.
I was going to say, you do realise that Queen's Park aren't in the south side at the moment. They play up at fucking Firhill, yeah?
Yeah, so well,
that's
we got
true, actually.
We got told that, so we kind of thought, well, we'll go there because that's where originally they're from. So we thought we'll cover all bases. So we went to Firhill because that's where the goal was scored, and then we went to Hampden because that's where they were playing. So we went there as well. And being a Dundee fan, don't get many chances to go to Hampden. So yeah.
That sounds pro. So did everybody make it? Was everybody still standing at the end of the night?
No, one of my pals, he kind of went a bit too hard early doors, but he caught with us later on after a little kind of power nap. Caught up with us later on in the night, but yeah. So like I say, it was an early start and a fairly early finish. So yeah.
I think no, we've been talking for a while, John. Do we need to get a night out soon?
Yeah.
I think this could be like a football daft. I think we should steal Kieran's idea, man. For
I
next
think
year.
this is a great. In January, we've got a football daft Christmas night out. We can't do it because obviously Grado and Stephen are in Panto. So this could be a good shout. We'll go to Glasgow, wait at Queen Street and see where the first goal comes in. Sit in Sammy Dow's and wait to see where the first goal goes in. Sorry, now, Kieran, you must have been shiting it though. Where did you not want to end up? I mean, if it was like, for example, Queen of the South, fuck, go to Dumfries.
Oh.
To be fair, I mean, obviously quite a few boys on Twitter kind of engaged with it, and they were kind of saying, look, Cumbernaul's great for a night out, Coatbridge is
Cumbernaul's good for a night out.
So, well, that's what we're being told here. I've never been, so...
Mate, Kieran, I think people are ripping the James Blunt out you, mate. I don't think Cumbernaul's good for a night out, mate.
Brilliant. So yeah, then people were then obviously on the flip of that saying, well, you don't really want to end up in, Stranraer, I think, is quite tough to get to. Dingwall's quite tough to get to. And I think Kelty was the other place that was kind of mentioned, try and avoid there if possible, because I think there's only one pub and no hotel. So said you might be ending up with a crate in a field was kind of, I think, one of the tweets I got. So fair enough. But I think we were kind of, I'll say lucky, obviously. Queen's Park scored first, and then seconds after that, Stenny scored, and then seconds after that, Kelty did score.
Oh.
So it was honestly, we were waiting for about 5 minutes, and then back to back, those teams scored. So yeah.
I mean, if you'd end up in Stenny, I'd tell you, it's slim pickings in Stenny. I come for Stenny, it's slim pickings. But what was the reaction like when the goal went in then? Because you didn't realise you're going to hit off to Glasgow. Yeah,
to be fair, we were delighted that it was Glasgow. We did it just short of 2 years ago, just before COVID, and we ended up in Hamilton when I think it was the guy Ocampo, I think his name was, scored against Hearts. So we went to Hamilton that time, so to kind of stay at that neck of the woods was decent. But to be fair, there was a lot of people on Twitter were saying, "Oh no, we think the goal's been ruled out. Hold off." And I was like, "Oh no!" So I think the betting sites had kind of taken it down. I think Sky Sports app had taken it down. We were kind of going on the video printer of Sky, Sky Sports News. That was kind of where we thought would be best to go. So so there was a VAR check, so to speak, as we were walking to the train station. But then it came through all good. So yeah, we went to.
Unfortunately, I support Falkirk, and there was fucking 5 more goals to come after that. So, you're a Dundee man. Let's talk Dundee. What are you hoping for the season? I mean, you're in decent form at the moment.
Decent form at the minute. To be fair, it's been a bit of a roller coaster up and down. We've been playing all right. To be fair, I go kind of most home games, most away games. We've been playing okay, but just maybe not getting the results. And then we've had a couple of shockers, like for example against Ross County, but then follow up with a couple of decent performances at home against like Aberdeen and I think it was Motherwell the other week. Played really well. So yeah, it's been up and down, roller coaster. I'm doing the hokey cokey with McPake. He's either in or he's out. I can't quite make my mind up. So yeah.
We do an offshoot podcast called Rangers Daft, and we were talking about Lee Griffiths.
That was going to be my next question, man. Kieran, what is your views on him? Are you a fan?
I mean, I've got a good connection. He was obviously a Dundee hero the first time round before he kind of went down to Wolves and before he kind of came back up here. So there's a little bit of I remember what he did for us the first time round, because I think we had to sell him in order basically to stay afloat. I think the first time he went, we were just going to administration for the second time in my lifetime. So there's a little bit of that there. Semi kind of saved the club with the sell-on fees and with the the transfer fees. So, I mean, this time round, I thought, wow, if we can get 50% of the player I know he is, then I'd be delighted. But at the minute, we're maybe not seeing that. He scored a goal against Aberdeen, which was fab. But to be fair, he's been kept out of the team by Cummins and more recently kind of Danny Mullins. So, yeah, I suppose the jury's still out. It's nearly January and the jury's kind of still out. So yeah.
That's what I said to John on Rangers Daft. I was saying, also you're saying the player he is and the player he can be, and obviously Ade as well, being a Rangers fan, I've been on the receiving end of it quite a bit his time at Celtic, but it's almost as if his application and his attitude, it's all wrong. No disrespect to Dundee, but at his stage in his career now, he should still be at Celtic.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that, I suppose, and I suppose there's a lot kind of going on behind the scenes that I don't know and couldn't comment on. But I know that he knows McPake quite well from his time at Hibs and stuff, and I wonder there if McPake's almost saying, "Look, come to us, maybe try and reinvent your career, and then maybe use us as a stepping stone back to wherever he wants to go." So yeah, tough one.
Aye. I think he'll be safe this year, though, mate. I think he'll be safe as hussies, mate. I can't see he's gone down or anything. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, like I say, I'm only mid-20s and I've already seen 3 Dundee relegations and 2 administrations.
So Jesus Christ! It's hard to take.
Mate, I'm only 23, man. But look at me after what Rangers went through.
I suppose tough people around, eh?
Well, Kieran, listen, thank you so much for coming on. Brilliant story, and we'll be stealing that for the football Daft January.
Yeah. No worries, guys. Have a good one. All right, all the best.
Cheers, Kieran, mate. Thanks.
See you after. Bye now.
Let's move on to the next caller on the open line. It is John, who's our Rangers supporter. Welcome to Football Daft, John.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming on, mate, because the numbers are very low today. Yeah. We need more bodies through the door. What's happening?
If you want to stay on for the rest of the show and cope with it, you're welcome.
I don't know, man. I've set my wains up for their dinner. My missus is watching Name Day That, so I've got a bit of time on it.
I want to talk about Rangers, John. What do you want to say?
Well, I was actually going to keep it a bit open, but since Toll's not here, I'm not going to elaborate on it for his sake. It was more just a case, I don't know if you've covered it already, but looking at the sort of potential ties that you can get in the next round of the Europa League. Would you rather go for somebody like a Barca or a Dortmund, or would you rather take your chances with, well, I was going to say Sheriff, but they beat Real as well, so you never know.
Aye. See, it's weird, mate. Me and my pals were talking about this in a group chat last night, and I'm of the opinion it's all about the league this season. So I want to see like your Haalands at Ibrox. I want to see the big guns coming. Like my mate was saying last night, it has been a while since we had a team coming where you go, they've got a genuine superstar in their ranks. You know what I mean? So I would, looking at that, I want Dortmund because I would love to see Haaland, because the guy just looks like an absolute fucking machine. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going like that. Whatever we get out of Europa after this, it's a bonus on me because it's all about the league. And let's be honest, most of the teams you look at, your chances are pretty slim against most of them, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? There's the odd ones there. I think I would fancy my chances maybe against Barca these days, the way they're playing. Do you know what I mean? But you're looking at...
And run full pelt right into Calvin Bassey, I think that.
Mate, I think that would shut the stadium down. I think there'd be an alarm would go off and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Right in the middle of the pitch, man.
Exactly. But I'm kind of... bring the big guns, man. Bring Haaland and Dortmund and that. And I think, obviously, going to Dortmund as well, they're playing there. Is all Germany behind closed doors now? Am I right?
I don't know. I don't know if the
Bayern was behind closed doors against Barca last night, wasn't it?
I wonder if it has went back on.
It would be great. It'd be a great away day as well.
I think the Germans can be quite regional with it, but so they might shut down parts of Germany and they might just shut down others. So I don't know.
What do you want, John? Do you want a tie where you could maybe go through, or do you want to play the big guns?
To be honest, I don't think there is a tie where you think, right, we're going to go through. There's like you say, the ones that you go with Sheriff, but they're the first Moldovan team ever to get in the Champions League, and they beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu.
At the Bernabeu, I know.
Draw with either Shakhtar or Inter or something like that. So they were in that group with Shakhtar, Inter, and Real, and came out third, which
Aye.
isn't
It's
a
no
bad
mean feat.
I was looking at the ones that Celtic could potentially draw, because I was anticipating Toll being on here as well. And some of the ones they could get aren't they great, man. Like Spurs are sitting second in their group now.
Aye.
I think they play teams that finish second in their group, I think. And you're looking at people like Spurs, Slavia Prague.
It's not easy, mate. It's not easy, and it's why a lot of people going Celtic. A couple of my mates going like, "We'll go and win that conference," and you're going, "There's still some teams in there."
Exactly.
If the way obviously their groups finished the night, but Roma are still sitting in second in that group, so that they could potentially be in that draw as well.
Jose
Coming back for the damage against Celtic.
I know. I think looking at it, man, I don't know, maybe for the kind of romantic side of the final in Manchester, you could get Zenit as well. Do you know what I mean? Our one where you go, we could get the aims.
Is that the final this year?
Hey, they're in it. Zenit or third. Zenit are in.
Is the final in Manchester this year?
No, I'm just saying of the final back then to play Zenit again. Do you know what I mean?
Written in the stars, man.
Aye, never know, man. Never know. But do you know what? It's just good to be there, John. You know, it's good to be here.
Once you're in the draw, do you know what I mean?
I guess. I mean, when you look at those sides, it's going to be tough. It's a tough ask. It is a tough ask to get through to the next round. But there's good money to be made. I mean, the Europa League, there is decent money in there now, you know. So you just think, well,
that's the thing. The only thing tonight going on Rangers Daft all day, I don't really care about the night, to be honest, because it's a dead rubber. But obviously, for a financial side, if we get a victory tonight, do you know what I mean? It's more money going into the club as well. So, you know what I mean? It's all good.
Was it 300 grand for a win, or $500,000 for a win, or something like that?
Something like that, mate. Aye. So,
I mean, that's a player's wages, really, isn't it?
That's John Suter.
There you go.
I mean, that's John Suter.
Would you definitely take Suter?
Right now, mate, aye, probably, because I'm looking at it. Can't rely on Balogun a lot. You don't know what Holander's going to be like coming back. Bassey playing centre half, done himself. He's done himself justice in there. He's done really well, but I think I don't think he would come right into the team, Suter, but he's not a bad person to bring in if you want to just concentrate domestically, get this league won. He's performed admirably for Hearts. Do you know what I mean? So I would take him. I would take him.
I know he's obviously played quite a lot recently, but I'm just curious. I don't know what the circumstances of his injury were. I don't know if it's something that could potentially repeat. But again, if you're getting him on a pre-contract in January, and you could do similar to what you've done with Kamara, where you sort of agree an opt-in fee just to take him in January rather than wait till the summer, then might be worth the shot on it. You know what I mean?
I think he's done his cruciate twice. I think
he did.
Yeah. So. Good to see him, Matt, and definitely would be a shout at Rangers. Though I think his eyes have been turned to down south because his brother's obviously down there as well at Stoke, and he's getting talked for a big money move up into the Premiership as well. I know Everton were kind of sniffing about him, Harry.
John, once Rangers come calling, man,
I'm sure he'll go to Rangers. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen. Well, anyway, thanks for coming on, John. The draw gets made, I believe, on Monday for the Europa League and the Europa. So we will see where the old firm end up, and we'll be talking about that in the show next week. John, thanks for coming on. Before you go, what do you think the score's going to be at the weekend?
I don't know. Tynecastle's a hard place to go to, but I like to think the form that we're in now will go through. I'd say 2-0.
Let me ask the question that I've asked Stephen. You take a draw?
No.
No, no one said no. No one said no. Right, fair play. We'll find you see that for next week. Brilliant. All right, John, thanks for coming on, pal.
Cheers, John. See you later, my man.
Let's move on to the next call on the open lines. Final call of the open line, Stephen. It's David, who is a Hibby. David's obviously the news broke today about Jack Ross departing. How are you feeling about it?
In many ways, mate, it needed to happen.
Right.
I'd like to say quite sad that it happened, to be fair, because I quite like Jack Ross, to be fair, as a man. I thought his ideas were probably the right ideas, but there comes a time you need to work with what you've got. Do you know what I mean? We've got players, if you put it into context, mate, we've got players who the vast majority came from St Mirren. We're not going to be able to play high press football all the time. And I totally understand that he's not really had a proper transfer window. When you look at it, you know, these 2 transfer windows were during COVID times where there's no many players moving anyway, and he kind of got messed about in the summer. Hence, that's why Graham Matthew left. But you need to still be able to get a tune out of the players that you've got. In isolation, the players that we've got, they'd probably get into any other team in the league apart from maybe Hearts, Rangers and Celtic. So going on the run that we've gone on makes probably unacceptable, to be honest.
He's kind of like me and John were talking earlier, and I said something similar, didn't I, John? I say I quite like the cutter, Jack Ross's jib. I like him, man. I think he comes across a really quite a savvy guy, and you did have some start to the season, man. It's like, but you were saying, John, your mates are happy.
Yeah, this is because obviously from the outside looking in, a lot of people are going, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing that." But my father was a season ticket holder at Easter Road, David, and he was saying even the start of the season when you were doing well, you didn't look great.
Nah, not at all. So we got a doing at home to Dundee United 3-0 in the league. That's and right. I think almost any Hibs fan you speak to, they had said that had been coming, to be honest with you, for a good few weeks. You know, we'd had a couple of dubious decisions that kind of fell in our favour and got away with it once or twice in the early stages of the season. And then when we got that doing at home, we never really recovered for that, to be fair.
Aye, it is like you say, mate. It always kind of falls at the manager's door, though. Do you know what I mean? It is. It's always the manager's always the one that suffers. But speaking of that, mate, who do you want in? What's the talk? Like, yeah, I'm sure you're involved in various group chats and all that with other fellow Hibbies, mate. Who you all wanting?
I think the obvious choice is Alex Neil, to be honest. Putting that down, that's for the Hibs CEO, Ben Kensel. He was the operations or the chief operations officer or something in Norwich when Alex Neil was appointed as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can maybe put 2 and 2 together. Really come up with 4 or 5 is a different story. Personally, who I would want, to be honest, mate, I've not really sat there and thought about it enough. I think there's two choices jumping out at you would be Alex Neil and Derek McInnes, but
yeah.
Other than that, I'm not really sure.
What about Kevin Thompson?
Didn't think he's got enough experience yet, to be honest, mate. He shouldn't have jumped from League 2 to Premier League.
Aye.
No, then again, somebody like Stubbs, he didn't have experience, but he'd been at Everton, so there's a big difference. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
What about if it was to offer you Kevin Thompson as Scott Brown as a coach and player?
This is like when you play Football Manager for like 10 seasons.
Honestly, you can away and run with Scott Brown. I think his time's he's no for me.
Nah, no for you.
I think Alec Neil is probably a good shot.
What about Neil Lennon? If he walked back in the door, David, at Easter Road, what would you say to that?
I wouldn't be opposed to that idea, to be honest. Nah, I think of recent times, he's probably... What Neil Lennon did install, I would say, at Easter Road is he put bums on seats as well. We were consistently getting 17,000, 18,000 every Saturday. And what I think Neil Lennon installed, and certainly myself and other Hibs fans as well, is we went to Celtic Park and Ibrox believing that we could win. Under Neil Lennon, we won at Ibrox, I think twice in the same season. We went to Celtic Park, always either got a result or put up a fight. I can only ever remember us taking a proper doing once, and that was away to Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Other than that, he installed the belief, to be fair, and whether that's just a reality, to be fair.
I would kind of, as much as we were joking about it earlier, Ryan put it in a group chat, remember, John? I remember when Lennon was in charge of Hibs, some of the football Hibs played under Lennon was frightening at times.
Unbelievable, mate. It was and like I said, like we were going away to Ibrox Place now that you would go and you get a point that you've done well kind of thing. Like now, under Lennon, go and I genuinely believe we can come here and get 3 points. Do you know what I mean? And go back and that's just the mentality it comes with, I suppose. Somebody probably wouldn't be opposed to maybe sticking around, especially for the cup final, as a grazing temporary charge. See what that leads to, I suppose. He knows the club, and you can't really ask anybody else to lead Hibs into a cup final.
Think it's a bit harsh on Jack Ross though, getting to the cup final and sacking him so close to the cup final?
Aye and no. I think if he had scraped a win last night, that would have been enough to see him through, even if he had got beat at the weekend and on Tuesday night. But I think no Hibs manager, mate, should survive 4 points in 27 games.
You're right, mate. Aye. 7
points. I don't think any Hibs fan should survive that. Any Hibs survive that, sorry. We should be up there competing for third place as a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
given the fact now we'll be lucky to make the European places, I would suspect. But it all depends who you get in the door. You know, if you get in the door and you can go on a massive run, you're all right. If you go on another, if your form doesn't improve, you're fucked there.
Aye, of course.
Do you think getting rid of him then, David, do you think you've got a better chance of winning the Cup without him, or would you have a better chance of winning the Cup with him?
I think the next 5 or 6 days, to be honest, John, will determine that.
Right.
I think it depends. If Hibs go down the same route as down and maybe they appoint somebody. If Hibs go down the same route as maybe Rangers go down and appointing somebody that doesn't take charge immediately, I think that could backfire on us. But it was quite interesting when you read the Hibs statement. It did say David Gray's in charge for the foreseeable future, so that would signal to me he's going to be sort of leading the team out of hand.
The Cup, aye, it would. I think, because the semi-final, when we'd obviously appointed Gio and Gio didn't take care until the Sparta game, and I was like, I thought we would have got a reaction, but I know what you mean, mate. It's kind of you want the manager in the dressing room, you want him there. Do you know what I mean? You want him kind of getting his point across and what he wants to implement into the side. Do you know what I mean?
That's it, mate. I think if you're appointing a manager, it's not as if you've got a manager stepping down at the end of the season and you're appointing a manager. You need them in there. You're always appointing a manager because you need change. We need them in there now. Aye. Because it fucking sensationally backfired for us, mate. I'm not mentioning that, mate. It's fine.
No, mate. Just no, mate. I'm not going back to Hampden ever. I fucking hate the place, man. I wouldn't want to rant about that. Let's not talk about that again.
To be fair, if you were asking me who would lead Hibs in the Cup final, I didn't think any Hibs fan could say a better man than David Gray, to be fair.
Yeah.
Again, I remember I've got bad memories of him in cup finals as well, but we'll not talk about that, mate.
That's like Stephen's Nam. You're bringing it all up again.
I think a lot of the conversation with Hibs though is a lot of it's got to do with the backroom staff. I think it's important you get the backroom team, no matter what manager comes in. Somebody like Brian Rice, wouldn't be opposed to him coming on the backroom?
It can, hands off Rice.
That's who John wants as a Falkirk manager, man.
I was the Falkirk manager, so hands off him.
Wouldn't it be opposed to him coming into the backroom staff? You know, depending on what manager you appoint, maybe somebody like Bartley coming over for Livingston. You know,
that would be popular with the fans.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because like one of the biggest things about losing Gerrard and amongst the Rangers fans was Michael Beale going.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you look at that and you go, the backroom staff is just as, or if not more important than the actual guy you get in as a manager.
But then you look at Celtic and they've still got Gavin Strachan and John Kennedy stuck there, so you know, swings and roundabouts.
I go back to like when Stubbs was in charge. So like when Stubbs took the Rotherham job, and like I know for a fact that Stubbs didn't take the Rotherham job just because it was him. They had to agree a deal with Hibs to take his backroom staff as well. Eddie Howe, for example, when he went, when he broke down with Celtic, it was over the backroom staff.
Aye.
So I think it's important to get that right. Somebody like Kenny Miller probably wouldn't be opposed to him maybe coming in.
That's a good. I mean, Kenny Miller would be brilliant as assistant or certainly as a coach. He's certainly looking for a job at the moment. So that's actually a really good shout if they were to bring someone like Kenny Miller who knows the club inside out. You know.
That's it. And he stays just down the road. Stays in Musselburgh, Easter Road, just talking 20 minutes away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could be a possibility, actually.
That's a good shout. Brilliant. Well, Dave, listen, thank you so much for coming on, giving us the Hibs end of things today. Really appreciate that.
No problem, guys. Cheers.
Nice seeing you again, David. Take care, mate.
And that's it for this week's Open Line. Thank you very much for all our callers. If you want to be on next week, look out for the link on @FootballDaft on the Twitter.
If, when you honestly want to, you find you cannot quit entirely, or if when drinking you have little control over the amount you take, then you're probably alcoholic. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. If you would like to speak to somebody in confidence or come to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, please call this number 0800 917 7650 or have a look at our website www.alcoholicsanonymous.org.uk. You are no longer alone. There is a solution.
Football Daft's big question.
So, Stephen, we got into a chat last week when Ewan was in. We were talking about the best player out with your own team based on your chat about Albertini and how that was your favourite player out with the Rangers. Then we got into a whole debate about number 9s and who the best number 9 was. Who is the best? And then we're like, oh no, he's a 10. No, he's a winger. Oh no, then so all that debate kicked off. So we thought we'd put that out there to the listeners this week. Who for you is the best number 9? Stephen, you seem to talk about this all day. The floor is yours, my friend.
Right, grown up, Georgie Weah.
Oh,
I fucking loved him. Right, I loved him. I
didn't even think of his name last week. I should have.
I think he was the first African to win the Ballon d'Or, if I remember right.
Yeah,
he was this guy. I remember watching Italian football when it used to be the Saturday morning show with Paul Richardson on Channel 4, and then the Sunday the game would go on, and Georgie Weah was like, for me, it was like something you'd never really seen in Italian football. He would take the ball, he was just phenomenal. But then you've got Batistuta.
Yep.
Then you've got Ronaldo. Right, Ronaldo, right. Honestly, man, I'm looking at these players, I'm going, Van Basten. There's so many, but for me growing up, because of my, I've got a right soft spot for AC Milan, so I would probably go, growing up, my favourite number 9 was Georgie Weah, and then it became Ronaldo, I would say.
Right.
Like, okay. Then you need to look at Alan Shearer as well. You look at proper, like he's like, I don't know, like then you've got Alan Shearer. Batistuta for me was always somebody I thought that guy's box office, do you know what I mean? But I always found a lot of these number 9s growing up that I liked played in Italy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because obviously scoring goals in Italy at that time, early 90s, even to this day, you know, the defences are always on top in Italy.
It wasn't, and it was, I don't know, you look at it and go, Italian football in the days was where people wanted to go and play. Do you know what I mean? Where that's where everybody wanted to be in. And I'm not being biased either. Like Alan McCoist, what a number 9.
Yes, he was a number 9, but he doesn't come into the conversation. We're talking about Weah and Batistuta.
No, but for me personally, but like my all-time favourite number 9 and my hero growing up when I was a wee guy was Georgie Weah.
Get this. You're talking about Weah there, right? When he won the Ballon d'Or. The top 3 that year, the Ballon d'Or, all 3 number 9s. This was the list. In third place, Jari Litmanen. What a fucking... Again, a number 9. Absolutely. Jurgen Klinsmann in number 2, second to that year as well.
And Georgie Weah won it. Was that 94 or 95?
95.
There we go. Georgie Weah, I think, was... I don't know, man. He was like the kind of catalyst for like African football, man. Do you know what I mean? Like you look at nowadays, you go like Drogba, right? But Drogba doing it as well. He was like, did he win the Ballon d'Or, Drogba? I don't know, but another cracking number 9. What a number 9 he was. And do you know who else? Who is honestly one of the best number 9s I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen him in the flesh as well. Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
What a player. Yeah. I seen him when he came to Ibrox with PSV Eindhoven. I think we beat him 4-1. Mo scored 2 that night. And then obviously when he went to Man U, what a player, man. Honestly.
Mo's a 9 or a 10, do you think?
I would have said Mo's is a 9.
I would have said Mo's is a 9, aye. This chat was like, he's not a 9, he's a 10 and all this.
Well, the best 9 on the planet as we speak right now is my son's hero at the moment, Robert Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, absolutely. Yeah. Can't argue that. You could try and put an argument for Harry Kane in there.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the same league.
No.
I think now the way we talk about Morelos when we should have sold him, when Rangers should have sold him, Harry Kane for me, I think Spurs should have cashed in on him now.
Aye.
I'm looking at him going, his value... Obviously down there, the market's so fucking volatile and out of control. When he does go leave Spurs, if he leaves Spurs, they'll get a phenomenal amount from him. But I don't believe he'll get as much as what they could have got from him about maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I when he was talking this summer, obviously there was talk about him going to City. I don't think City's a team that would suit the way Harry Kane plays.
Nah, I don't think so either, mate. I don't think so. I don't. Probably no. You're probably right. I'll tell you one of the most underrated number 9s in the planet. Karim Benzema.
That is a great shout for an underrated number 9.
I don't think enough gets said about that guy.
You know, you're right. You're absolutely right. You look down the list of like the Ballon d'Ors, and it is like here's a name that our listeners haven't picked. We'll get into the listener suggestions in a minute. Shevchenko.
Oh, what a player! What a player!
Doesn't even come into it when the listeners are
another Milan legend.
Yeah, I mean,
never when he made that move to Chelsea, it never worked out really. But his best days, AC Milan, he was untouchable.
Yeah, absolutely
phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
And like no one's put his name down. But we'll move on to the listener suggestions.
Right, I'm going to look it up here. I'm just going to get it up. Right, I've got it. The first one, Ross, Fat Ronaldo.
Yep, Ricky comes in with Klinsmann has to be up there. Yeah, we mentioned him.
Aye, and then Martin, who we just mentioned, Robert Lewandowski will go down as one of the greatest number 9s. Haaland definitely has a potential to become maybe the greatest number 9. I agree with that. His next move probably is going to determine if he'll become one of the greatest.
It's going to be a key move. I wonder, there's all sorts of talk about him ending up. Everyone's obviously in for Haaland and everyone wants a piece of him. So it'll be interesting to see. And like, he'll certainly pull whatever club he goes to up. R9 is the greatest, no debate for me, says Kevez.
Aye, definitely. Here's one we've not mentioned. Grant says Samuel Eto'o.
Oh,
what? See, who was it? Was it Eto'o, Ronaldinho, and Messi together?
Yeah.
When he was there. Am I right in saying that?
That's right, yep.
Eto'o at Barca was sensational, wasn't he? He was something else, man.
I know. Next one down, we've got, again, everyone's... Here's 3 in a row here. Andy says the original Ronaldo was the greatest player of his generation. There was no one better than him. The original Ronaldo was the best striker in the world, says Stephen. Chrissy says a fully fit and focused Ronaldo was unplayable. You can't argue with any of that.
I think he was. See, when he was at Barca, he was... Here's a fucking startling fact for you, though.
Right.
Ronaldo never won the Champions League.
That's mental. Absolutely mental.
Never won the Champions League. Ryan has got in touch, John. This is it's a valid point. McCoist case well and truly shut. There we go.
Right. Oh, listen, McCoist, you could argue is Scotland's. In fact, let's say McCoist is Scotland's best number 9. I don't think there's any argument against. I can't think of anyone as a number 9 who played for Scotland.
I would no.
Because Kenny Dalglish was a 10.
He wasn't a 9, no.
Dennis Law, though.
The Law man.
Dennis Law. But again, we're probably, we're blinkered because we're a different generation.
Aye.
But a lot of, older listeners would come on and say Dennis Law was untouchable, I'm guessing.
Aye.
For us, I guess McCoist is it. Douglas says Marco van Basten, career over too soon. Retired when he was 28, isn't it?
That's absolutely, it's terrible.
He could have been the best if he'd continued.
Probably. Aye, it was different gravy. Callum has got in touch.
We're having this.
Chris Boyd, easily greatest goal scorer to grace Scottish football.
I feel like, that video with fucking Walter Smith and Archie Knox, you can't believe what he's fucking saying here.
I know.
Come on, say what fucking Callum's saying here, by the way. Chris Boyd, fucking one of the best number 9s.
He's the all-time goal scorer of the modern-day Scottish Premier League, though.
Well done, Chris Boyd.
And John, I'll leave this last one for you because I think it's only fitting you should get to read out the last one who has been sent in by somebody, your namesake. John, take it away, John McNally.
Never worn number 9 for Queen's Park at the weekend.
How many did he score?
Very good. I don't know who was number 9 for Queen's Park. It might have been one of the former Falkirk players that scored.
Wait, I'm going to find out.
All right, here we go. The greatest number 9.
Which day did you play? Was it Saturday? Saturday the 4th.
It was who played number 9? It would have been Simon Murray. I bet it's Simon Murray.
Wait, we'll find out. Queen's Park 6, Falkirk 0. Lineups. Number 9 was Bob McHugh.
Oh, fucking Super Bob McHugh was playing 9. Oh, Jesus.
Bob McHugh. And he didn't even score. He got booked.
I know that's a shit, but listen, I can't say a bad word against Bob McHugh. He got like he's one of the many ex-Falkirk players that are rattled around the Championship and League One, fucking putting goals past Falkirk. Anyway, well done, number 9.
That's a good shout from
Bob McHugh. I won't argue. In fact, Bob McHugh is the best number 9 ever.
There we go.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
Stephen,
Yes.
it's Christmas time.
Yes.
There's no time to be afraid, and there's no time to be afraid to shave your balls, cause they're not going to shave themselves, are they, Stephen?
They're not, and I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm obviously doing panto now.
Uh-huh.
I had a complete, probably a good 40-minute manscaping session the other day.
Well, do you know what? It's funny you should mention that because we've got to say a big thanks to Manscaped for getting involved in this podcast. Now, Manscaped, you'll have seen it. It's gone global now. It used to just be in America. You'll see adverts on the telly for it now. You'll see billboards for it all over the place. Basically, Manscaped are the tools that you need to score under the tree in the mistletoe, I'll tell you right now. Manscaped is a leader in men's below-the-waist grooming, and they have served more than 4 million worldwide. That's me and Stephen encoded. And if my math's correct, that's about 8 million balls, I think.
That is about 8 million balls.
What we've got here for you on Football Daft is 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code DAFT. Now, Stephen, tell me about Manscaped. You are a big fan of it. You have used it to basically groom every part of your body, haven't you?
Yes. Well, I'm sweating a lot doing the panto.
Yeah.
Being an ugly sister, lots of different costume changes. You're getting changed in front of costume people, right? That help you. Dressers. I don't want to look bushy. You know what I mean? I don't want to look all bushy everywhere. So I took 40 minutes out of my day before I started the shows, and I manscaped with my lawnmowers at 4.0, the latest one we've got.
4.0, that's the bad boy.
I used that bad boy in, obviously, like, you go fucking naughty or nice this season in pantos, you know what I mean? All that stuff, the Christmas stuff. I thought a wee Christmas trim. You know what I mean? Everywhere. My balls, my chest. I even got my wife to do my back.
Oh, really? You got a hairy bag? You one of those ones?
One of the ones, mate. So Manscaped, the Lawnmower 4.0 has come in very handy in the Purden household recently.
Well, it's going to be the top of your every man's Christmas list because basically you're going to get this performance package 4.0 now. In this package, this is what we've been given from Manscaped. You're going to find the Lawnmower body trimmer, best trimmer on the market, as Stephen says. Your balls, your arse, your body, your back. Whatever you want, you can shave it Manscaped. You're also going to get in there the Weed Whacker, which is an ear and nose hair trimmer. Did you do that and all?
Oh, the Weed Whacker I use probably every second day. Because, again, I'm a lot smaller than Grado. We've got a lot of scenes together in the panto. We're quite close up. He's not been using it.
As he know.
We were talking about it yesterday. I was like, we actually spoke about the Weed Whacker yesterday. I said, because I use it every second day. Take a wee 5 minutes, it gets right in there, right in about, and I've got a clean snip.
Well, there you go. Grado needs to get on this. You're going to get the Weed Whacker, you're going to get the Lawnmower, you're going to get their Crop Preserver, which is body deodorant, and you're going to get the Crop Reviver, which is your ball toner, which is going to maximise your hygiene routine. It smells really, really nice as well.
It does.
So you can get the performance package right now, and you're going to get 2 free gifts for that. You're going to get all that I've just mentioned, plus you're going to get boxers, which you're a big fan of.
Oh, they're so comfortable. I like a good boxer going to bed, right? They're the ones I wear, just going to bed. So obviously I can't go commando in bed anymore. I've got 2 young children, they run in, they don't want to be, you know what I mean? So I wear these boxers and they're so comfy. They're amazing. Yeah,
and as well, you can get the Shed travel bag. It's a really, really nice travel bag that you're going to get with that as well. Listen, and if you want, Manscaped's also got brilliant stocking stuffers. They've got Mag's signature cologne. They've got the shears nail kit up there. The crop mops for ball whites for your stinky balls. That's what you want to get in your stocking. And you'll get the toner and refresher in there as well. great stocking fillers for the men in your life, or if you want to buy it for a mate or a secret Santa, whatever. You know what you want to do? Just hit up Manscaped right now. You're going to get 20% off using our code, plus free shipping. So go to manscaped.com, hit up the code DAFT when you're at the checkout. You're going to get, you could have the performance package, you could have any of those stocking fillers, and you get 20% off everything by using the code DAFT. So head to now to manscaped.com and be the ballsiest gift giver this year. Manscaped!
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
Right, it is the Player Profile Playoff with piesports.com. They will bring you the taste of Scottish football direct to your door. Do you know we eat over 1 million pies a year in Scotland? Well, they've got it all covered off. They've got your steak and gravy, got scotch, macaroni, you'll get chicken and chorizo. You get all sorts of pies up at piesports.com. Different formations, choose the formation that suits you. They'll deliver them to your door ahead of the weekend's game if you're watching it in the house. Give them a call if you don't get online, 0141 739 9999, 0141 739 9999. They'll deliver free of charge to a bunch of postcodes, and they'll get the deliveries out on a Friday or Saturday ahead of the matches. Every week, Football Daft, we like to give away pies, and this week is no exception. And we're welcoming them on to the podcast. Chris, how you doing, Chris?
All good, mate, all good.
You're a Rangers man.
I am indeed.
Sponge, Chris.
He looks a wee bit like Ross McCrory.
Aye.
I would say.
I'll take that.
You, like Stephen, are shiting yourself ahead of Sunday's game, yeah?
Correct, yep. Aye, very nervous.
It's a biggie. It's just get that. And I've got a matinee that day as well. I've got 2 shows that day. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I hate the days where I'm like getting into the theatre.
I'd say Tynecastle's the hardest away game of the season for me.
Yeah, harder than Celtic Park.
Probably, mate. Aye, that's up there.
Right. Would you take a draw if I gave you one now, Chris?
No, you've got to win, mate. Every game for a Rangers fans, I must win.
There we go. What do you think the score will be?
2-1.
That's what I said. I said Rangers Daft.
A fashion double.
Oh, the happiest man in football.
I have to say, I've got to get a little into a wee story today. So on the radio, we do a feature where people phone in and get songs, and someone phoned in to ask for Shakira, you know, the one, the Saint fashion. And like, I'm in the know with these things, right? And I was like, George, we can't play that because half the audience will switch off if we play this Shakira song. And so this poor guy edited out the bit where he asked for the song, so it sounded just like he was phoning up to ask for Shakira. Hips don't lie. This guy's in his van raging. And he's getting this fucking Shakira.
That is brilliant.
On, and then Hips Don't Lie comes on. So
that's brilliant. Did you tell Barry what it was about?
Aye. So apologies for that guy who phoned in today if you're listening. Sound like
the new ABBA song's a belter as well, isn't it?
Aye, Super Trooper, innit? That's brilliant, man. It's brilliant.
Get that one.
Me and Grado have been walking backstage singing that quite a lot. Brilliant, man.
Who are you singing that about?
We've got Tavernier, Hadji, Kemmer, Roof and Bassey, playing in Royal Blue, Rangers through and through, putting on a show for you.
That's not bad. Did you make that one up yourself or did you steal it for someone?
I've been the Union Bears, huh?
Aye. That's decent. That is decent.
Hey, our catalogue of songs is very retro now. You've got a bit of Joy Division, a bit of ABBA.
Do you know have you got a new songbook now? Then have you? Has that been handed out now? Has it?
What are you trying to say, John?
Right,
we're taking songs for the 1960s instead of the 1690s.
You need to just keep Chris a prize for that.
Let's play the game. Right, Chris, you probably know the rules. I'm going to read out a player description. If you know the player, you buzz in. If you do buzz in and you get it wrong, play hands over to the other person. First to 2 wins. And we've been going around the world the last couple of weeks, so we are moving into the Czech Republic this week.
Oh, I don't like that.
There's not many. I was looking. There's a couple. Can you name? I've not got them on. Can you name any Rangers players that came from the Czech Republic?
Libosionko.
Well done. That's the only one I think I could find.
See, Uncle Paul Gwen signed him. He scored on his debut against Motherwell Falkirk and then done fuck all after it.
Yeah, but he's not on the list, so you'll be.
Oh, fuck, that's me fucked.
I think
this is going to go on for a while.
These players are well known enough, though. Chris is a bit younger, so there's a couple on there that they might not get. Right, okay.
Played in Scotland, obviously.
Yes, played in Scotland. Right, okay. First 2 wins. What's your buzzer going to be, Stephen?
Super Trooper.
Chris, what's your buzzer going to be?
Tavernier.
Tavernier, right, okay. I thought you were going to go Shakira.
I'll swap it. Shakira,
right, fantastic, brilliant. Right, okay, so first 2 wins. Remember, these are Czech Republic players that played in Scotland. Here we go. This striker joined Hearts on a 1-year loan deal from Kaunas and scored in his debut against Kilmarnock. A couple of games later, he scored the only goal in a win.
Trooper.
Stephen.
Feliska?
Nah.
Fuck.
He was Lithuanian.
No, he wasn't even fucking Czech Republic. He was fucking... Because he played with Rangers as well. Yeah. Oh, fuck that.
Games later, he scored the only goal in a win against Rangers at Tynecastle. He made his move to Hearts permanent, but moved out on loan to West Brom before signing there full-time and making over 100 appearances. He also won 8 caps for his country. Hearts striker. Moved to West Brom, played in the Premiership with them. Capped at international level.
What year?
It was probably before you... No, it was about early 2000s, Chris. It was early 2000s, so you would have been a bit younger. He was part of the, the Romanov kind of revolution. Probably one of their better players that they brought through. That. Give you a clue. They're very big in history. No, that's a shit clue, by the way. They were very big in history. They did a lot of conquering. No.
Roman. Fuck.
Roman Bednar, just give him it.
It is Roman Bednar.
Yeah, give Chris it. He got the Roman bit. There we go. Right, okay. Fucking jumped in. As soon as I said Leachka, he said no. I went, when he said West Brom, I was like, fuck off. Like, give Chris a point, but 1-0 to Chris.
Okay, 1-0 Chris. Right, your next one out. This keeper has played for 4 different clubs, namely Hamilton, Hibs, Partick Thistle and Aberdeen. He arrived on these shores in 2007 and helped Hamilton to win promotion and was named their Player of the Year in 2008-2009. After he moved to CSKA Sofia and Greek side Ergotelis, he returned to Hibs before moving to Thistle and Aberdeen. He retired last season and is now a PE teacher in the northeast of Scotland.
It's on the tip of my fucking tongue. Hamilton. Fuck off.
Goalkeeper, Czech Republic goalkeeper.
I know.
Nah, he's a both. Nah.
Not got a clue, mate.
I'm going to know it as soon as you see it.
Thomas Journey.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Right. Still 1-0 to Chris.
He's not a PE teacher. We must see if we can get him on the show.
You get him on the show then.
Aye, let's get him Aberdeen. If you get taught by Mr. Cherney, please let us know. We'll get him on the show. Right, next one out. You should get this one. First one in this one, boys. Here we go. This midfielder signed a 3-year deal for Celtic from Chelsea for an undisclosed fee, thought to be around 2 million. Although he scored...
Trooper.
Yeah, Stephen.
Jarosik.
It is Jarosik. Well done.
Well done, mate.
Here's a decider. Probably, I would say, the most famous Czech.
Jarosik, man. What a player he was, but and he went to Celtic and...
It didn't get
into that midfield. It didn't get into it.
He was very good at Chelsea, I know.
He was. Right, here we go. This is the last one. See who can get this one. This attacking midfielder became a Hearts hero, scoring 2 in 2 Scottish...
Trooper.
Rudy Scatchell.
I said, don't you? Hey, come on. Come on.
Right, he's got it.
Rudy Scatchell.
There's Rudy Scatchell.
He kissed the pies, but he was so keen there, man. He was so keen.
He was super keen to get in. Brilliant. Well done, Chris. You've won the prize. Well done.
Right.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Well done, my man. Hope you have a great Sunday.
You too, mate. Thank you. Have a good one. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Chris. Remember, if you want to get pies for Pie Sports, go to piesports.com right now.
Now time for Grado's 3 riddles on Football Daft.
So it is is Grado's 3 riddles.
When's the last time Grado was here for Grado's 3 riddles?
Never. He's never here. Never here. But we're still calling the feature Grado's 3 riddles. If he's not here next week, I'm calling it John's 3 riddles, right? So play along if you're listening in the house, if you're in your car, if you're on the train on the way to somewhere. Play along, shout at your podcast and get the answer before Stephen gets it. Congratulations to everyone last week who got last week's riddle, which we threw out to the listeners. We asked you this one, see if you can get a Stephen, because you didn't hear this.
Hey.
This theatre award has power. This theatre award has power. Who was that?
Theatre award
has power. Come on, you're a thespian. You
I
should
know.
know. What's the big the big theatre award? What do you call the big theatre awards?
Lawrence.
No, the Broadway, the Broadway awards, the American, they're big in America. The theatre awards in America.
Emmy.
Not an Emmy, no.
Oh, an Emmy's telly. Emmy's telly.
Emmy's telly. Theatre awards. You want?
Yeah, I'm a television actor.
Right. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Right. Okay.
Hold on. Right. Head it right. Power. Strong.
Start work on power. Work in power.
Strong.
Not the wrong type of power.
Oh, right. The fucking power that shocked my fingers today.
Yeah, the power that shocked your fingers. What do you measure power in? What do you measure power in?
Voltage.
No, that's the
What? Tony what?
What's Tony?
I thought Nicola got it!
Tony what? Nicola got it.
Nicola got it!
Stephen's wife Nicola is involved. Do you know what, Stephen? We brought in Nicola to play this game, and I've got a funny feeling she's going to beat Stephen.
Yes.
Not even known footballer, she's going to beat Stephen.
She feels she's sitting on her computer and went, Tony what?
Right, okay, first in with the correct answer last week on Twitter was Pat the Pallet Prick. So he goes.
Pat the Pallet Prick.
Pat the Pallet Prick goes onto the leaderboard along with everyone else. Current scores on the doors. Chris is on 21. I'm on 17. Stephen, this is your chance to get some points on the board here. You're on 9. Ryan's on 1. Jack's on 1. Ian Meeko's on 1. Ryan Bar's on 1. John Mitchell's on 1. Albert's Legends on 1. Declan Ramage is on 1. And Pat the Pallet Prick is now on 1 as well.
Oh, and so is Nicola Purden.
And Nicola Purden is on 1 as well.
Aye.
So well done, Nicola. Right, okay. You ready for your first riddle? Steve, Nicola.
Get Googling.
Yeah, listen, I want to see I don't want to see Nicola Googling. You won't get this in Google anyway to be fair. First one out is, this sheep shouldn't be confused for Wayne. This sheep shouldn't be confused for Wayne. You're playing against the people listening to the podcast right now.
Sean.
Yes.
Sean. Shouldn't be confused for Wayne.
Wayne, yes. Shouldn't be confused for Wayne. Sean.
Bruce.
Sean shouldn't be. Come on, Nicola.
Sean.
Shouldn't be confused for Wayne. Wayne.
Child.
No, the other Wayne.
Sean Rooney.
Nicola's getting that, by the way. That's Nicola's point.
Oh.
He said Rooney.
I said Sean, but...
Right, okay, half a point each. Split the point, right, okay.
I think the fucking Wayne's like child and all that.
Right, next one, right, okay. This karate kid is your auntie's Wayne. This karate kid is your auntie's Wayne. Come on.
Oh, hold on. I've got it. Daniel Kuzan.
Well done.
Boom. There we go. That was a good one. That's a good one, John.
Thanks, Daniel. Kid, Auntie's Wayne would be your cousins.
Aye.
Right, okay, this one. Third one out. Let's see if we go this. This Gallagher makes barrels. This Gallagher makes barrels. This is dead easy.
This what?
This Gallagher makes barrels. This Gallagher makes barrels. This is easy. This is dead easy. Come on.
Liam.
Yes.
Liam Fontaine.
No.
Liam makes barrels.
Yes.
Whiskey.
No, Liam Whiskey. Aye, plays up front for Slavar. Barrels.
Next Barrels. Liam. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Is it beer or is it?
Beer?
Google it, Nicola. Type in who makes barrels.
Who makes barrels?
Who makes barrels?
Liam. Who makes barrels?
Yeah.
She's Googling. Whisper it to me.
Cooper.
Liam Cooper. Right, there we go.
Well, Nicola's getting the point for the Google.
Half a point each again. I got Liam.
Half a point each. So
aye.
That's a point.
That's 2 points I got this week.
Yeah, no, you got.
Aye, so I got 1 full one and 2 half points.
Right, one. So you get 2. Right. Aye. So they okay. All right. And Nicola gets 1. No, she got Tony Watt. Oh, no, you're.
I know she's already got that one, so she's on to 2. No, she's on to 1 now because she gets half a point for 2 questions.
Right. Okay, Nicola, you've got a point. Well done, Nicola. Fantastic. Before we do it, we'll give one out for the listeners.
Yes.
This is a dead easy one. So you're going to, if you're listening to the podcast, you're on Twitter right now. Get in quick because you can get yourself on the leaderboard. Because I think this is the easiest one we've ever done. The life of Basmati. The life of Basmati. Who's that?
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
It is time for the Eldorado Swanky moment of the week. Remember, you can ask for LD at any Swanky bar. It's easy to drink, short, fruity, and finish with a trace of caffeine. And I've seen on their socials this week, they're making mulled Eldorado tonic.
I seen that the other day when I was between shows. I was on my phone and I seen them making mulled wine now.
I'm really going to give it. So check out the Eldorado tonic on social. You can get them at Instagram, Eldorado tonic wine, or Facebook. You'll get them there as well. Or check them out, eldoradotonicwine.com. Make yourself some Eldorado mulled wine. It looks tasty. I'm going to be well over that. So celebrate the swanky taste of Eldorado. We're picking out swanky moments from Scottish football and leaving you to vote on Twitter at Football Daft Pod. The results from last week were as follows. You missed this, Stephen, so I explain.
Aye.
In last place, it was my nomination of the luckiest football fan in Scotland, the Hearts fan, who narrowly got missed by a football getting punted into the stands, and she kind of turned round when she was just walking along, and then the ball just went flying. I think it was Richard Tate hit a shot, went flying past her, and she just kind of looked up like that, and the Hearts social media team caught it on camera, so that only got 3%. Chris Toll's nomination of Tony Watt's goal against Dundee United and the subsequent pie that he received from Tony Watt after him when Toll texted him saying...
He actually texted him back and said, "Who's this?"
Aye. Paul said, "Some goal, big man," to Tony Watt, and he said, "Who's this?" That only got 17% at dessert.
Really?
Yeah, so it was big for the top 2. In second place, it was Ewan Cameron's choice. His fictional dream of Hearts beating Celtic at Celtic Park, which was put down as Hearts beat Celtic. That got 38%, but winning with 42%. It was Ryan's nomination of Grado and Stevens' TikTok dance from the Pavilion on TikTok. You can see that right now. Pavilion Theatre TikTok. Go and see it. I can't talk about it enough. Pavilion Theatre TikTok. Grado and Stevens dance. That won first place. So.
See, when we done that, my wife, beautiful wife, who's kind of co-hosting the show today with us, she texts me saying, "There's my husband."
But that was maybe in maybe the context, "There's my husband. Oh, I'm so proud of you." Maybe, no?
Did you see the dance?
I did.
Are you at the piss at me now?
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. Nicola, did you mean you were proud of him, or were you taking the piss out of him?
Take the piss.
Take the piss. Right.
She couldn't answer any quicker there. Take the piss.
Right, that's it. Right, so we're only going to have 3 options. There's only 2 of us. What's the last option?
Do you know anything that's happened in Scottish football this week? Or anything that's happened that you think...
Let's get Nicola. What would Nicola like to nominate for
Swanky moment of the week? What do you think, Swanky? What's happened this week? Doesn't need to be football. Anything. Just to put it there.
Is Nicola looking forward to the new Sex and the City starting tonight?
There you go. Yes, she's jumping about now saying yes. There we go.
So what's it called, Nicola?
Oh,
I've got it here.
As it happened, what as it happened?
And just like that.
Just like that, as it happens. That's like a die. Oh, what's that new Sex in the City called? As it happens. Just like that. Right, so that's going to be one of our nominations for Swanky Moment, the reboot of Sex in the City. Apparently she does a podcast in it now as well.
Yeah, we could get her on.
As you remember, we can ask her. I don't know what her views on Scottish football are. What do you think Hibs should get in as the next manager?
Like,
Jessica Parker.
She'd be like, what? What are you talking about? Right. Sex in the City's in there. That's Nicola's nomination, right?
What you got?
I'm going to go with... You do yours first. I'm still thinking.
Okay, you're still thinking. I am going to go with the fact that Livingston FC owned Ewan Cameron on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen this.
Bastard, I was going to use that.
I don't know if you've seen one, but Ewan...
Something about it's more, he said, more likes than your support, and they said more listeners than you get inclined to.
Yes, he was actually at a Hearts game for once. He wasn't at a Rangers game. He was actually at a Hearts game.
Aye. But he was in the Livingston end, wasn't he?
I don't know, was he? He probably got free tickets, didn't he?
Aye, probably.
But he put out saying, like shock, he was moaning on this show last week about Livingston support, and he says, in Livingston end with my son, don't tell the 23 Livingston fans that I'm here. And then he tweeted, this tweet has got more likes than they have fans. And then Livingston tweeted back, and more likes than you have listeners. Oh, brutal.
You know what, but I listened to a wee bit of this last week's show as a text. She's member when I was listening to it between shows.
Yeah.
He made a very valid point, because I know that things like Rangers and Celtic going to the Tony Macaroni Arena keeps them going money-wise, but it isn't bad. It's like a home game.
Yeah.
It is like a home game, it is. But I will move on to my Swanky moment of the week. And what can I make it now? Jesus. Right, do you know what? I'm going to... I think it was nice that Lee Griffiths came out of retirement to play the other day.
You're just going for the easy one here again, Stephen. As per usual, just finds the low-hanging fruit and just...
My Swanky moment of the week is Lee Griffiths coming out of retirement.
Right, okay. And the listeners' Swanky moment of the week. Now, I don't think you'll have seen this, Stephen, so I'm going to show you. If you get the video version on Patreon, patreon.com/football daft, you'll see this. If not, I'll tweet it on the Football Daft pod. So this week's nomination comes from Vertical RM on Twitter, and it's a clip from the West of Scotland League when 10-man Blantyre Victory were trying to break up the field in the counter, only for the Irvine Meadow sub to take 2 men out at once. It is not to be seen, to be believed. So I want to play the clip for you, Stephen, just so you can see it. Hold on. Blantyre Meadow, yep.
Yeah, I need to speak to my wee mate Scott about that, because he's for Blantyre.
Guys breaking up field here.
Yeah.
Passes to number 7, past a man. Here comes the sub.
It takes 2 of it, man.
Let's see that again. The sub, boom. There we go.
That is brilliant.
Kicks out 2. That thing is a thing of beauty.
That is class. Is that one of the listeners' nominations this week?
That is the listeners' nomination.
That's brilliant.
So
That's
this week's nomination for your Swanky moment of the week are from Nicola.
Come on, what is yours?
Sex and the City.
What's it called?
Just like that.
Just like that. Sex and
Fucking Tommy Cooper, they're just like that.
Just like that. Stephen, what's your nomination?
Lee Griffiths coming out of retirement.
My nomination is Ewan getting owned by Livingston, and the listener nomination comes from Vertical RM, who's 2-man takeout. Let's call it that.
That's a brilliant man. 2-man takeout.
2-man takeout on Irvine Meadow. So vote on your favourite Swanky moment of the week, and head to Twitter now to do that. And also remember, Eldorado tonic wine, Scotland's own, is now Football Daft.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
Then we can get more content from Football Daft at Patreon. We've talked about it enough. You'll get the video versions up there. You'll get the outtakes up there. You'll get all the former teammates up there, which we'll get to in a minute. Plus, you get to be a pundit on Celtic and Rangers Daft. Come on to Celtic and Rangers Daft. Pretend you're Andy Gray. And talking of Andy Gray, we spoke to him. Oh, it must be about, it was in the middle of lockdown. So
I think it was maybe around about May, June time last year.
June time last year. We caught up with Andy Gray. You can hear that interview on the archives right now. But every interview that we've had on, we always get our teammates from them. And like I say, you can see them all at patreon.com/footballdaft. But we're going to let you hear this one. So here is the legendary Sky Sports pundit, Scotland, Everton and Rangers man. It's Andy Gray on teammates.
Worst dressed?
Dear. Worst dressed? Well,
Aye.
God blame me. Now, I started in 1973 at Dundee United. So, as you can imagine, with the greatest of respect, we weren't the snappiest of dressers in 1970 when we were getting paid diddly squat to play football. So, gear was really at a premium. I have to confess, I wasn't great, guys, then. I wasn't great. I thought it was all right, but I wasn't great. Worst dressed? My goodness. Who? My missus is shouting at me. Don't forget to tell them about your Bumblebee shirt that I wore at Dundee United. When I won the Player of the Year award, I went in and I was all chuffed. I showed my missus a picture of it recently. Somebody had sent me it when I was 18, I think. And I've got this lovely shirt. It's massive, like a dickie boat. It looked like it was strangling me. And then this shirt.
You know what? I think I've seen that photo. I think I've seen that photo, by the way.
What's on that shirt? She says to me, I says, oh, that's Bumblebees. I thought, no. Right, if I go back, if I look at Everton, say that was more recent. Who were the worst dressers at Everton?
Remember, it can be folk that you worked with on the telly and all that and all if you want.
Well, I'll tell you who. There you go. I've got one. Barry Venison. There you go.
Barry Venison. There we go.
Barry V. He used to come on with some rascal gear when we used to have him as a guest. And we had him quite often in the early days of Sky. And Barry V, he'd come on with a jacket that was just holes. It was full of holes.
So what you're telling us is Barry Venison's clothes were the deer? Hey!
Oh, you are so good. Different class. I'm on the wrong show. This is too good.
Right, Andy.
Oh, Barry V was up there. He had some rascal gear. Tell you.
Moaniest?
That's definitely me. But who would I always remember, part of my philosophy was chip away at the referee from minute one. Because eventually he'll get so fed up, he'll give us up. So at every club I went to, I kind of took that mantra with me. So I never had to teach him much, but at Everton, Peter Reid was as good as any. Really was brilliant. He never shut up. He would chip away, him and I, because we were the experienced two in that team. We're more experienced than the rest. We had a young side. And he was brilliant at chipping away at people. Getting into a referee's face, getting into a linesman's face, getting into the other player's face. He really was brilliant at that. So he's right up there.
Who do you want to back you up in a fight?
Maybe Sinex, innit?
Got it. If I wanted to back somebody to back me up in a fight, Psycho Pat, as we called him, Pat Vanden Hal, who, Pat could unfreeze icebergs just by looking at them. He's that kind of guy, you know what I mean? Right. He was. We called him Psycho because he was. I mean, if I was in a fight, who would I want? I would want him right beside me. Definitely.
Best looking?
Well, McCoist will always tell you it was him, wouldn't he, at Rangers when I was of course, I was the best looking there. Coist would be like, just had to look at my mail to see I was the best looking. Coist would be up there in that team. I think at Everton, it was a good. Even like another Rangers player, Trevor Stephen, would have regarded himself. Tricky Trev would always thought, I'm a good looking boy. At Villa, who would it be? Giddy was like John Gidman, good looking boy. In his day. Wolves. would have been there at Wolves now? Probably Paul Bradshaw, the goalie, would have been up there. Yeah, but those would have been the ones. But probably Coisty. I mean, it couldn't be
Coisty.
Yeah, it could. I mean, at the moment, I don't know about that. I'll tell you.
Teacher's pet.
Who did the manager go to at various clubs? Teacher's pet. Never had. I don't think we had one. Howard Kendall never really had a teacher's pet. Howard was just a man for all. I think that the only person who, at my first club I was at, it wasn't so much a pet, but he was the one who went to the manager all the time, he had all the wee stories and told tales on the players. No, a guy called Dennis Mortimer, who was a very good player, by the way. But we kind of fell out with him, me and John Gidman, because he was always going behind backs and telling me stories to the gaffer that he shouldn't have done. So he was like that. So what do they call that? Teacher's pet. Who did the coaches love? Well, I'll tell you who wasn't Graham's pet, and that was Ali McCoist again. He definitely wasn't a teacher's pet one then. But no, I think that teacher's pets, it's funny because coaches have got to be careful that they don't kind of show too much to somebody. But if there was somebody that they always played when they maybe shouldn't have done, who would that have been? Nobody ever in the teacher's pet. No, they were all just good players. Rangers, Graham never had any teacher's pets, so he wouldn't entertain that. No, I think probably Dennis Mortimer was one of my early days, so I thought, he's the one. He's the one.
Right, mate.
Most skillful.
David Cooper first. Best ever Coops. I mean, I was just so lucky that this is going to sound daft. I was so lucky that I never played a lot when I was up there at Rangers because I spent most of my time with Coop because we were normally, most games him and I were subs, and if we weren't playing we'd go away and play with the reserves on the weekend. So I spent an awful lot of time with David that year. I was at Ibrox. And he was just, the things he could do with a football were just mind-blowing. And when I came here to Qatar and became friendly and got to know Ruud Gullit really well. And
that's his hero in it, Ruud Gullit.
I've seen that.
He's his hero.
He's in his all-time 11. He's great.
He came to me and said, "You were at Rangers, weren't you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Did you? Was Davy Cooper still there?" I said, "Yeah. How do you know Davy Cooper?" And he went, "I think Davy Cooper's. He's in my favourite all-time 11." I said, "What?" And it really, not that it surprised me that Coops wasn't good enough to win it, but it surprised me that Ruud knew
exactly.
It wasn't like today when every game was on the TV. You could hardly find games back then.
Exactly.
In the 70s and 80s, you couldn't find games on the telly. So the fact that Coops' legend had spread to somebody like the 3-time World Footballer of the Year,
it speaks volumes.
Speaks masses for Coops. And so I loved Davies. I've always put him down as the most skillful I've ever played with. Trevor Stevens right up there as well. Brian Little, who I played with at Villa in the early days, he was just sensational as well. I was just all jealous of them, it was you used to watch them with the football and think it was part of their body, you know what I mean? It was it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Worst trainer?
Reedy. Peter Reid.
Definitely.
We used to call him on Mondays, every Monday. He used to go at the weekend, play the game the Saturday, and he'd be at a club called Benny's, I think in Bolton or Manchester, one of the two. So every Monday he'd come in, first thing he'd do, plastic bag over his gear, right, get ready for gear, then the sweatshirt, the plastic bag would go on, then his top would go on, and that'd be him, and he'd start jogging round, and he'd be last. I mean, to be fair, I would normally be last with him, but he was jogging round, the sweat was just pouring out of him on a Monday. Nice night at Benny's weekend, Rudy? Yeah, not bad. But, I mean, when I say he was the worst trainer, he was never found wanting ever on a football pitch. But we used to laugh on a Monday about him, and it was the Benny syndrome we used to call it for Reedy when he trained. But most players are pretty good trainers. I mean, I remember when I was at Everton, I wasn't quick, and I can remember what you used to hate if you were ever injured at Everton. You used to think, please don't put me in a run with either Gary Stevens, again another ex-Rangers player, or Trevor Stevens. I said, because those two, I mean, they were racehorses. Racehorses. If you were ever in the same group as them, I used to just give up after 10 yards. That was me. They were a nightmare. But Reedy, I could keep up with every day.
Who never gets the round in?
I don't know. If I ever been at a football, I couldn't have been at a football club where...
You know what they say, Andy? If you don't know the answer, it's you.
I have to say, if it was me, I'd be a very rich man by the way, boys. If I didn't. So no, I mean that's a tough one because most of the guys I went out with, I messed about with, and I regarded as my mates. We're pretty good at getting rounds in. There was nobody found wanting. Sharpie wasn't great, but he was always there. At Everton, Graham Sharp, another joke. Why am I saying? That's ridiculous. But yeah, Sharpie he was good as well. I mean, I don't think we had too many. Neville Southall wouldn't buy a drink because he didn't drink.
Right.
So Neville would not be putting his hand in his pocket, but he was so big and strong that no one mentioned it to him. He can get away with what he wanted, the big man. But he wouldn't buy a drink. Nev wouldn't buy a drink. No.
Biggest bam up merchant.
Bam up merchant.
Aye.
Bam
Just
up.
the wind up merchant. Wind up.
Oh, you've been too long in Scotland.
Bam up. I think wind up. I'd understood.
Wind up.
Have you heard the bam up?
No, I've not heard the bam up. Well, obviously, Boy State Rangers was a massive wind up merchant at Rangers. I think. Bad at Villa. We used to wind a few up at Villa. They were good. They were decent. Wind up merchant. I mean, McCoy's as good as I've seen.
Aye.
You know, I wasn't there when Gaza was there, sadly, because I've heard so many stories of Paul and what he did.
You're kicking about him. The fish in the motor and all that.
Again, it's the same. I come to the same people because they're the kind of life and soul of the football clubs.
Aye.
You know, Reedy loved a wind up. We had a wee group. We had the A team. It just shows you what the life was like. We had the A team and the B team. We used to call it Everton. It was about 4 or 5 of us in the A team and about 5 of them in the B team. So it was a bit like that. So we used to wind them up quite a lot. And it was me, Reedy, like Sharpie and Adrian Heath, a couple others. So Reedy was a good wind up merchant as well. He was pretty good at that.
Top shagger.
Don't worry, you don't need to answer it, Andy.
You don't need to answer, you can pass if you want, Andy.
No, I'm not going to answer it, but what I will say, he's been mentioned already. Leave it at that.
That's all we need.
Leave it at that.
Best you've played with?
Well, you might not like this, but it's true. It would be when I'm playing for Scotland, and it would be Dalglish.
Aye.
I knew that was coming there, Andy.
It has to be. You know, I cannot lie. You know, he was every bit as good as people thought he was. He was an absolute joy to play with. I think I maybe had half a dozen, 7, 8 games with him with Scotland, and he was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Could see things and do things that, you know, others couldn't. And yeah, he was quick, he was tall, he was just brilliant. Brilliant
answer. Might be worth a fortune this day and age, Kenny Dow.
Yeah, you couldn't buy him, I don't think. No, you couldn't buy him.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
So that's it for Football Daft this week. It has been a 2-man team. We got through it though, Stephen.
It'd be funny, man, if his name just came up on the screen and that was him.
Ewan Cameron has entered the room. I'm like, it's him. I wonder if there's still a power cut in Falkirk. I'll find it. I'll see him tomorrow morning. I'll ask him.
I think we should thank Nicola as well.
Nicola, thank you so much.
Nicola.
You've got to speak as a podcast, Nicola.
You can't speak. You can't just wave. Not everybody's got the video version. So if you want to sign up to Patreon, you'll get to see my gorgeous wife Nicola giving you a wave.
There you go.
There you go.
There's a definite reason to get on it.
There you go.
Right.
Aye, that's it. No, John, it has been pleasant. It's been nice. It's been very straightforward. No fucking about. Hopefully Grado's back next week.
Hopefully Toe will definitely be back.
Toe will definitely be back. Just obviously everybody just I hope everybody's thoughts are with Grado at this difficult time as he's going round all these veterinary, what do you call them? Vets and building sites where people don't know who he is. And
so I'm going to have to ask Grado about that. So is he getting like the workplace around to do like a countdown, and then he's hitting his...
What I've got in my mind is, remember the episode of The Office where David Brent plays Simply the Best on the Ghetto Blaster?
He'll definitely be playing Simply the Best, that's for sure. Let's just looking at the fixtures across the weekend in the Premiership. Dundee United, Livingston, what you got there?
Dundee United.
I'll take a draw on that one. Ross County, Dundee.
I'll take a draw on that one.
St Johnstone, Aberdeen.
Where is it?
It's in Perth.
Aberdeen have kind of picked up a wee bit, haven't they?
I'll
go with the Dons there.
St Johnstone have struggled a bit this season.
Aye, I'll go with the Dons.
St Mirren, Hibs. That's an interesting one. Hibs away in Paisley.
I'll go with St Mirren.
Right. I'll do Celtic Motherwell first. Celtic at home.
Motherwell.
And then the one that you're shiting yourself, Hearts, Rangers, and that 12 o'clock kickoff on Sunday.
That's massive.
That's my birthday, by the way. I'm looking forward to sitting down.
Your birthday's on Sunday?
Birthday's on Sunday.
Is that how you're going to hospitality on Saturday?
Going to hospitality on the Saturday.
Is that a present for the missus?
No, it's a present to myself.
Oh,
with the boys.
Mate, you've kept that quiet. We're doing panto, so come January, we'll get that wee day. Nicola doesn't know yet. I need to tell her what we're doing.
You bet you can do that after the podcast. Tell Nick on the plan that we're going to go to a pub and then go to wherever.
She said I'm part of the show now. I'm coming.
Brilliant. In the lower leagues, couple of tasty ones in the Championship. Partick Thistle versus Arbroath.
That's a biggie.
That's a biggie. Can Arbroath do it? I mean, Dick Campbell, what a job. And our friend of the show, Ricky.
A legend. Ricky.
The captain himself.
The unofficial skipper.
Yep, exactly. And Raith Kilmarnock as well. Kelly's starting to slip a wee bit. So
I'll take Raith for that one.
Airdrie Queen's Park in League One. Airdrie going well. I mean,
who are you playing?
We've got Cove Rangers, so...
Oh, so you have. That's the fucking biggie, because that's going to be when John McInally gets blitzed out his tits and tries to have a square goal with Paul Hartley.
That might happen. So if I'm not on Football Daft next week, that you know what's happened, I'll be in the jail. If someone could send bail money, I'd really appreciate that. Thanks very much. Stephen, thanks very much.
Thank you, John.
We're back to a full team next week. Remember, in the meantime, in fact, it's probably best not to review, because you'll probably be sending reviews right now of fucking it's lost its shit now, Football Daft. None of these bastards turn up to even bother the podcast. So don't leave a review, but if you want to say something nice, go to Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, that'd be spot on, and get us on socials at Football Daft Pod, Football Daft Podcast on Insta, or just Football Daft on Facebook. And that is it for the show. We'll get up the road now. Best of luck to whoever your team's playing at the weekend.
Yep, I'm away to get my tights and my fake tits on.
Alright, see you, Bobby.